Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Today we are breaking down Daniel chapter 8. And this is going to be a long one, so as always, let's go ahead and jump into the chapter context. The first 6 chapters of Daniel recorded events from his life. The final chapters recorded his vision of the future. The prior chapter contained a dream involving several animals depicting powerful nations. This vision explained here also deals with conquering empires, but also touches on events to come in the end times. Daniel's next passage includes his prayer for Israel and further explanation of what will happen in the last days of human history. So let's go ahead and jump into the breakdown part 1. Daniel has another prophetic experience, Daniel 7:1, which ties into prior dreams and visions. Aspects of this prophecy were seen in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, Daniel's 2:39, as well as Daniel's earlier vision, Daniel 7:1-6. Golly, this is tight. Some of these predictions will occur within a few centuries of Daniel's life. Others are yet to be fully realized. Daniel 8:1. The vision begins at the banks of Ulai Canal of the Ulai, I don't know how you pronounce it, Ulai Canal in the eastern province of Elam in the Babylonian Empire. There, Daniel sees a male sheep, a ram, boldly running around without anyone to oppose it. The ram has 2 horns, with the latter appearing horn growing higher than the older one. The meaning of this symbol will be explained later. Daniel 8:2-4. Next, Daniel sees a male goat moving so quickly that its feet don't touch the ground. A unique feature of the goat is a prominent horn in the middle of its forehead. This goat breaks the 2 horns of the powerful ram, defeats it, and takes power. Once the goat is exceedingly great, its single horn shatters. In its place grows 4 horns pointed in all different directions. As with the ram of this imagery is to be explained in another part of the vision. Daniel's 5:8-5. There we go. From one of these new horns comes yet another horn, a little one. This one exerts power and fights against godly forces. It also is responsible for desecrating truth and stopping sacrifice in the temple. Daniel hears voices wondering aloud, how long will this last? Indicating that the sanctuary will be unusable after 2,300 evenings and mornings. Daniel's 8:9-14. In response to Daniel's desire for more understanding, a voice commands the angel Gabriel, Daniel 9:21, Luke 1:19, and then Luke 1:26. This voice may represent Jesus Christ, God of Son, or perhaps the archangel Michael. Daniel's 10:13-21, and then Daniel's 12:1, and then Revelations 12:7. As is often the case, Daniel's response to the presence of an angel is dramatic. He falls into a posture of submission, possibly even fainting. Gabriel helps restore Daniel's senses before giving his interpretation of the vision. Daniel's 5:15-18. God explains that the ram symbolizes the Medo-Persians. This empire was in amalgamation. What? Hold on. Amalgamation of Media and Persia. Though over time the Parisians dominated and controlled everything. This is why symbols of Medo-Persia involve 2 arms, Daniel's 2:23, or 2 sides, Daniel 7:5, or 2 horns, Daniel 8:3. The goat predicts the rise of Alexander the Great and his rapid conquest. When Alexander suddenly died, his territory was split among 4 successors, Daniel 8:19-22. Near the end of Greek dominance, another ruler will arise. He will be known for death and persecution against God's people that will not end until something other than the human effort brings his rule to a close. This predicts the late Greek figure Antiochus IV Epiphanes in the late 2nd century BC. Epiphanes was infamous for spiteful cruelty toward the Jewish people. He outlawed aspects of their faith, blasphemed God, and even distracted the temple with the blood of pigs. As a result, the temple was unusable for sacrifice until Epiphanes died and it could be cleansed. Epiphanes died suddenly, but there is a debate over how exactly how. Daniel 8:23-25. The same prediction appeared to have dual fulfillment. Interpreters see similarity to depictions of the end times, the final era of Earth's history. During that time, a figure known as the Antichrist will echo the depravity of Epiphanes. He will be empowered by Satan, Revelation 13:1-4, and will only be stopped by the return of Christ, Revelations 9:11-16. Scholars debate the exact meaning of the 2300 days. Some look at it as a literal length of time. This would roughly correspond to the time between 170 BC when Antiochus came to Jerusalem and the restoration of the temple in 164 BC. Another view is that the reference to the evenings and mornings means that 2300 is a total of those. This would imply that Epiphanes' disruption of the temple lasted long enough to prevent this number of morning and evening sacrifices. As it happens, the temple was desecrated in 167 BC, roughly aligning with 1,150 days to the restoration. In either view, the prediction holds. Daniel 8:26. Though Daniel has been given insight, he doesn't fully understand everything he has seen and heard. He knows enough to see that his people will suffer terrible evil, including defilement of their religious life. However, they will recover. Daniel as well suffers a time of stress. The shock of the experience and the catastrophic meaning renders him ill for several days. Yet Daniel, like Israel, recovers and resumes his work. Daniel 8:27. So I'm going to try to get this breakdown part 2 in a little bit of time I got left. So let's go ahead. Daniel 8, chapter 8, breakdown part 2. Daniel 8 describes a vision of a realm Medo-Persian Empire and a Male-Goat Greek Empire led by Alexander the Great being conquered by a little horn that represent Antiochus the Fourth Epiphanes, a saluted king who persecuted Jews and desecrated the Jerusalem temple around 170 BCE, highlighting God's sovereignty and promising future deliverance for his people, with interpretations pointing to both his historical fulfillment and potential future applications. Key themes of the vision. Number 1, Ram, Medo-Persian Empire. 2 horns, 1 higher, Parisian stronger, rising after Media, charging west, north, and south, becoming great. Number 2, He-Goat, Alexander, Greece from the west with a great horn, Alexander the Great, that shatters the ram. Number 3, broken horn and 4 horns, Alexander's death. Kingdom divided into 4, Ptolemaic saluted, etc. Little horn grows from one of the 4, becomes powerful, attacks the gracious land, Judea/Jerusalem, stops daily sacrifices, defiles the temple, which is the abomination of desolation. And then the last one is 2300 evenings and mornings, a period of time, likely years interpretation, until the temple is cleansed/restored by the Maccabees, are as explained by the angel Gabriel. So, meanings and sacrifice. Number 1, God's sovereignty. I can get time. Shows God controls history, even the rise and fall of the empires, to fulfill his plan. Number 2, historical fulfillment. Directly prophesied the saluted persecution of Jews under y'all, I'm so sorry I did not get this done.